Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, English for IT Professionals. My name is Terry, and the lesson today is 5 expressions for sprint review meetings. Quick introduction, my name is Terry. I'm an English teacher from Ireland. I can speak French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, and I have 14 years professional experience teaching English online, offline, in schools, in person, all kinds of contexts. I am also a Udemy instructor with almost 200,000 students. I have some really cool courses about job interviews, grammar, English for software engineers, and speaking secrets. Lots of cool stuff. You can find all of my links, all of my stuff in my link tree, English for IT Pros. So here are 5 expressions for your next sprint review meeting. And I would really love you to write your own examples in the comments as you watch, and I can give you feedback. So expression 1. Here's what we accomplished in this sprint. And we have the accomplishment. So the accomplishment is what was done, what the team worked on. It helps to summarize what was finished and show big wins. So if we look at different variations and different verbs here, we've got here's what we accomplished, here's what we completed, and here's what we got done. All 3 are very common and they are a little bit different. So when you talk about to accomplish something, it's to finish something hard and to feel happy about it. As in the team completed a very big new functionality or a new part of the project and they're very happy. Here's what we accomplished and we want to show it to you. To complete something is to finish something all the way, to finish something completely. Not necessarily like super happy, like we completed this, right? And then to get something done is to finish something fast and be done with it. And it's the idea of urgency. When you talk about get something done, it means you have limited time to do this, okay? So again, accomplish means that the team feels happy finishing a big sprint goal. Complete is finish a task, nothing special. And get done is finish a small thing, or maybe not a small thing, fast before sprint time is up. The basic idea of sprint is that you have your 1 or 2 week sprint and you need to get what you can done in that limited time. And sometimes you have urgent projects or urgent tasks that you need to get done. So again, get done is to finish a small thing or finish something urgently or quickly. For example, we got the login feature done. We worked with design to get the updates done. Despite blockers, we got most of the stories done. Now, you need to look carefully at the word order. The word order with this expression is, for example, in this example here, we needed to get the login feature done. So it means that you have to get the task and after you put the word done. So if you see here, we needed to get done the login feature, it doesn't sound natural. Or to done get, it's like if you're mixing up the word order, you need to be a little bit careful. It's always, we needed to get the task and after the word done. Okay. For example, we got the login feature done yesterday. Now, with the pronunciation we have accomplished. It's another example of, you can see the ED at the end, but it's really a T pronunciation. We accomplished. Accomplished. And the next one is accomplishment. That is the noun, accomplishment, and accomplish. So again, if you are pronouncing accomplished, it's okay, I understand, because you can see the D, but you need to debug the pronunciation and start to pronounce with the T, accomplished. So some examples. Here's what we accomplished this sprint, the new authentication flow. We completed the UI redesign and are ready for feedback. We got the API integration done just before the sprint ended. Expression 2. Can you confirm if deliverable meets your expectations? So this is requesting or asking for feedback from stakeholders to confirm if the work you did is what the stakeholders want. And here we have some variations. Does variable align with your requirements? So careful for the pronunciations. Align with your requirements? Or does deliverable reach your expectations? Can you tell us if deliverable is what you expected? And are you satisfied with the current version of deliverable? So we have a lot of different small variations how to use this. So 3 key verb or expressions here are to meet your expectations, to align with requirements, or to be satisfied with. Okay? So to meet your expectations is to do what you were hoping for or thinking would happen. If you have your expectations here, my expectation was a very good login feature, and it is exactly what you wanted. It meets your expectations. To align with requirements is another way, or maybe more formal way, to say to match exactly what is needed or asked for. And then to be satisfied with, okay? To feel happy enough with something, even if it's not perfect, you're satisfied with something. Of course, no functionality, no feature is ever really 100% perfect. And again, the pronunciation here is align. I know you can see the letter G, but it's mute, it doesn't pronounce, you don't pronounce it, okay? Align, align. And then expect, and then the next one's expectations, expectations. So common mistakes are, if you're using meet, is to forget the third person S. Can you confirm if it meet your expectations? If you put it in the verb, it needs to be with the third person S. Can you confirm if it meets your expectations? Another one is using the verb align to, as in it's always align with, not align to, okay? Small little details, but they are important. So, some examples here. Can you confirm if the new dashboard meets your expectations? Do you think the API changes align with your requirements? Are you satisfied with the new login flow? Expression 3. We encountered challenges with issue, but we resolved it by solution. This is where we're explaining the problems faced and how they were fixed. Now, if we look here, we've got 3 expressions or verbs. One is to face, to have difficulties with, or to run into challenges. So let's look at them together. We faced an issue with, we had difficulties with, we ran into challenges with. So to encounter, so one of the verbs as well is to encounter. To encounter is to find a problem you did not expect, which is extremely common in software engineering, that you are working on a feature or a part of the software and you find a new problem. You did not expect it. To face is to deal or to fix or to work on a problem that is in front of you. As in, okay, we identify, we know the problem, we are facing this problem. To have difficulties with, or maybe to have trouble with, is basically to have problems with something. And then the next one, the last one, is to run into. To run into is to suddenly or quickly meet a problem, where maybe in the last 2-3 days of the sprint, everything was going fine, and suddenly you run into a problem that you did not know, or suddenly you realize, oh wow, this is a big problem, is to run into. So in our pronunciation, we have encountered, resolved, resolved, and then faced. So the present tense is face, and with the T sound in the past, faced. Now, when we talk about resolve, resolve feels bigger and more official, as the difference between resolve and solve. For example, blockers, delays, or arguments, we resolve things. But solve is usually more about technical issues, like to solve a bug, an error, or a task, when resolve is much more serious and we resolve the API issues, which are bigger than just one small problem. So when we have resolve is to fully fix and close a bigger or official problem, to resolve a blocker, resolve a conflict. To solve is to find the answer to a specific technical task related problem, solve a bug, solve a deployment error. Address is another verb which is extremely similar, but it's about the idea of to start dealing or working on a problem, but not necessarily fully fix it yet. It's to address a risk, address performance. And fix is to repair something that is broken or not working. Fix a broken link, fix a typo, or I fix problems with my microphone, or I fix problems with my editing software. So again, we have to look at the complete sentence that we're trying to build, that we have to resolve the problem by verb ing, to solve the problem by, to address a problem by, or to fix a problem by. So when we start to look at the complete sentence, we encountered a bug, but we resolved it by updating the logic. We encountered a bug, but we resolved it by updating the login logic. And if you look carefully here, if you use the word by, after you must have the verb and ing. You will not have by update or by to update. So some examples with the complete phrase. We encountered a bug, but we resolved it by updating the login logic. We faced deployment issues and we addressed them by refactoring the pipeline. We ran into a blocker during testing, but we fixed it by adjusting the test cases. We had difficulties with the database migration and we addressed them by improving our rollback strategy. So two common mistakes or problems would be forgetting to use the past tense. We meet challenges instead of saying we encountered or faced. To meet challenges is not really that natural. It's much better to say we encountered or we faced, or of course we ran into. And then forgetting that after the word by, we need the verb and ing. We resolved it by changing the configuration, okay? Expression 4. Is there anything we should adjust for the next sprint? This is used for planning changes from the review and seeing if updates are needed before the next sprint. And some variations we have here. Should we make any changes for the next sprint? Are there adjustments needed before the next sprint? Are there any adjustments we should make before the next sprint? Do we need to adjust anything before the next planning session? So when we look at the pronunciation here, we have adjust, adjust. It's a very light, just adjust. And then adjustment, adjustment. So adjust, adjustment. To adjust is to make small changes to improve something, to adjust the sprint backlog after feedback, adjust team priorities. To make changes is to change something, to improve it or to fix it. And we can also say to make adjustments, which is to make small corrections or improvements. So they're all extremely similar. I think really to adjust and to make adjustments are two variations of the same idea, and to make changes. But what's really important that when we talk about changes or adjustments, we use the verb to make. We don't use the verb do in this case. The basic difference between make and do is that make is the creation of something new. So should we make any changes for the next sprint? Should we make any adjustments? So some examples here. Is there anything we should adjust for the next sprint? Is there anything we should adjust for the next sprint's backlog? Should we make any changes based on this feedback? Do we need to adjust anything before the next planning session? Is there anything in our process we should adjust after this sprint? So, expression 5. What's your feedback on and the feature? This is about gathering or asking stakeholders for feedback or constructive criticism what's your feedback on the feature? And different variations are, how do you feel about the feature? What do you think about? Do you have any feedback on the feature? Do you have any thoughts on the feature? Could you share your impressions of and feature? So two important things about the pronunciation. We've got feedback, okay? Feedback, where the strong syllable is the first one. Feedback, okay? And then feature. I know you can see the letter A, F-E-A-T, feature, but it's really like the word feet, like hands and feet. Feature. Now, feedback is always singular. We don't say feedbacks in English. Feedback is an uncountable noun. So in correct English, we say thank you for your feedback, and we never say thanks for your feedbacks. And some common mistakes is what's your feedback about? Where again, it's much more natural. It sounds better to say feedback on, not feedback about. So some examples here. What's your feedback on the UI changes? Do you have any thoughts on the new scheduling feature? What's your feedback on the bug fixes we deployed? Do you have any thoughts on the updated user flow? So here are the 5 expressions for sprint review. Please take a moment to comment your answers below in the comments here, and I can help you. I can give you some feedback. It would be really cool. If you like this video, please take a moment to click the like button and check your subscription. And please tell a friend about this channel if you think it's useful, if you think this channel can help a friend who is also preparing their English for the world of working in IT. And you can find me and my courses on Udemy and Udemy for Business. I have really cool courses about job interviews, grammar, speaking, and English for software engineers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.